Are you ready for episode 2?
I'm ready for episode 2. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Howdy Radio, the next generation. I'm Lane.
I'm Brandon.
And we made it to episode 2.
Woo, episode 2.
Yes.
So last week was episode 1. So now this week is episode 2.
Yes.
I wonder what next week's going to be.
Yeah.
I hope we make it to next week. But let's get through this one first. So this week, last week we introduced the show. We brought it back. We put it on Facebook and all over social media and everything. And we got a few listens, and everybody that listened to it, everybody said it was really cool. Everybody liked the way that it flowed. A lot of different people said that you did a really good job. Our old buddy Adam said, I think it was him that said, you're a natural, or maybe that was Smoothie. I can't remember who said that. But they were like, yeah, he's a natural. So good job. You did well. Everybody thinks that you did a really good job on the first episode.
Thank you.
That is pretty awesome.
So the show is now on iTunes if you would like to check that out.
Yep, we got it on, it's on Lane's YouTube page.
Yes, I'll have the link in the description.
And then it will, it's approved by iTunes now, so that means on most of the different podcatching apps that you can search for Howdy Radio, the next generation, and you should be able to find it. And please subscribe to it. The more subscribers, the better. We're still working out all the kinks and everything as we go. We're still kind of learning how to do this again. But so far, so good.
We're learning.
Yes, we are learning. But so far, so good. I really like that everybody thinks we've got a cool thing going here. So we had a crazy busy weekend this weekend. So we've had not much time to be able to work this in. But we did. We managed to work it in. Because we were not going to miss a week already on the second episode. That would be terrible.
Can't just miss a second episode. It's like you can't just skip to episode 3. Like
no,
you don't do that.
You don't. So today's a little different, really. We have a really cool special guest for today that you'll hear in a little bit. It is my old buddy Dave, who did Howdy Radio with us back in the day, and he is now better known as CincyGram on Instagram, so he's going to be our special guest today. It's a very cool interview. I think everybody will like that a lot. But as of our other stories to talk about, we really don't have any news to talk about this week.
It's a boring week next week.
Nothing really was announced or anything, so we figured we could just use the time to just talk about whatever we wanted to talk about instead of talking about news. Yep. So we've decided that as of today, we've got 42 days until we go to Disney World.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a minute.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to the most? Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
You don't sometimes show how excited I think a kid should be to go to Disney World.
I'm very excited.
So what are you looking forward to the most, the one thing that you want to happen while we're at Disney World more than anything is what? It's
not really what, but the experience. So, what would be, what happens.
Yeah.
But, I just like the experience and, just able to go around the park and going all the rides and everything.
Yeah.
Just the experience of it, just completely, just going is really what I'm looking forward to the most if you think about it.
That makes some sense, I guess.
Some sense.
But is there any certain rides or shows or anything that you're really wanting that we hope we do?
I'm very, very looking forward to do Splash Mountain.
Yeah. Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? 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 Yeah.
Yep.
Space Mountain. Because I went when I was a kid. I went to Disney World and to Disneyland when I was a kid, and both of them were very cool trips. But Disney World was definitely way cooler than Disneyland. And I rode Splash Mountain when I was a kid, and I rode Space Mountain, so I'm really looking forward to riding those again. Space Mountain was so awesome, but so was Splash Mountain too.
Yeah. All the mountains.
All the mountains.
They might be in space. They might be on ground.
And the parades. I'm really looking forward to the parades.
Yeah.
They have a lot of cool parades at Disney World, especially the one at the end of the night. I forget what it's called, but at the end of every night, when it gets dark, they do this light parade that goes down the main street, and it's all lit up and stuff, and
that's cool.
It's extremely cool looking. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
So we'll be going there for a couple days, and we're going to go to the beach for a couple days, and this is all 42 days away.
Yes.
It's getting very close.
So close.
Are you getting nervous about? Are you nervous about flying? This will be your very first time flying.
I'm not nervous about flying.
Not at all.
So no.
Not in the least bit.
Yeah.
Like no hesitation there at all. You've been wanting to fly
Yes,
somewhere
I've been
for a
wanting
long
to
time.
fly for a long time.
The last time I flew somewhere, I was about your age when my family won a trip to Disneyland on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
That
So,
happened.
Disney-
For anybody that doesn't know that
Disney.
story, Disneyland, when I was a kid, when I was about Lane's age, they used to do those play-at-home games on Wheel of Fortune. And this was pre-internet, because I think they do them now, and you just, like, go online and just put in, like, the answer to the puzzle or something. But this was way back in the dinosaur days, so you had to fill out a little note card and mail it
You're gonna
to...
fill it out on a rock.
Yeah, you had to use a rock and a chisel to write things, and
Yeah.
like the Flintstones.
Yeah.
And but whatever, we did a little play at home game. My uncle did, and he sent in a little flyer into the Wheel of Fortune sweepstakes thing. And then like 6 months later, we got a big certified box in the mail that we won a trip to Disneyland, and they Wheel of Fortune flew us out there, and we got to go to Disneyland and Universal Studios and all that cool stuff. It was awesome. So, and I was about your age when I did that. But I was a little bit younger than that when I went to Disney World in Florida. So that's going to be an awesome trip. I can't wait.
So
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
2,000.
2,000.
Yep.
So what's it going to be in like 41 days when it's like, we're leaving tomorrow?
41 days. I don't. Is it like higher? Like, do I choose higher?
Well, I mean, you already went 2,000 out of
Yeah, I already went
10.
2,000 out of 10,
Yeah.
So pretty high.
Right on, man. I
So-
can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not nervous about flying either, but I think Mrs. Howdy and Mr. Tyler will
Mr.
be...
Tyler.
I think they are both going, especially Tyler. Tyler is scared to death of flying,
Yes.
so I don't know. We might have to pump him full of NyQuil before we
Yeah.
leave or something,
He's
because
just getting a bunch of NyQuil.
he is definitely scared about going.
Giant
But we won't go too much more into Disney, because we were talking about like maybe a week before the Disney trip that we were going to do a whole Howdy Radio episode
Yeah.
dedicated to our
Yes.
Disney trip, which will be really cool. And maybe we'll even do a special Howdy Radio while we're on vacation. We might record
That'd be
something
awesome.
in like a hotel room or something.
I just thought about
Yeah,
that.
that'd be cool. And then we've got another special episode coming up in a week or two. We're going to do a special WrestleMania episode, because on April 2nd is WrestleMania 33?
Nope.
2?
33.
4?
33.
39?
33.
33.
33.
And that's
It's
going to
in-
be in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
My buddy Andy at work, he is the bartender at the restaurant bar that I work. He has had this vacation planned for months. He's going to Orlando the week of WrestleMania week in Orlando. And he didn't even realize that WrestleMania was going on at the same time that he was going to be down there. So he's going to try to go to the Hall of Fame, and there's all kinds of stuff that
Definitely
they do
probably
for
not
the week.
WrestleMania.
But he's not going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He comes back from vacation the day of WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
So, but the night before is the Hall of Fame, and he's
Yeah.
looking at tickets for that. So he thinks he's going to go see that, because his favorite tag team, the Rock and Roll Express, are being inducted. So he thinks that would be really cool to see. So, but whatever. We got a cool special WrestleMania episode coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
I got something fun that I'm doing tonight as well.
Stupid.
Lane thinks this is stupid. I think probably most people think this is stupid.
Oh my.
So I'm going to a little concert club here in town called the Woodward Theater tonight, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And I'm going to go see a band called Mac Sabbath. I hope everybody follows along on my Snap story to this one, because this will be a good one. So Mac Sabbath is obviously a Black Sabbath parody band, but they look like evil, demented McDonald's characters. The singer looks like Ronald McDonald / Ozzy Osbourne. I gotta look up his name real quick. I think his name is it is like something.
This is terrible. Why is this a thing?
So I've never heard of them.
What was that?
I don't know.
What was those man nipples on your
I don't know
screen?
why. So hold on, let me figure out the.
Oh my god,
I don't need to be looking at this right now. Whatever. Anyway, they're a parody band of Black Sabbath, but the singer looks like Ronald McDonald and Ozzy Osbourne mixed into one, and then there's like the Hamburglar is like their bass player, and Grimace is their guitarist, and they change all the words to all the Black Sabbath songs to stuff that talks about hamburgers and McDonald's and evil cows and stuff.
Evil cows.
So they're I've never seen them before, but I've heard lately that they've started kind of getting kind of popular, and they're doing a big tour and they're coming to town and everything. And but I've heard their shows are really fun and really funny, and they're really good. So I'm really looking forward to this show. I cannot wait to see this show tonight. And then opening for them, which is just as awesome as a evil McDonald's Black Sabbath cover band. The band opening for them is named Oakley Dokley, which is they're a metal band. It's all metal tonight. It's a whole metal night. So Oakley Dokley is a heavy metal band who all of the members of the band, all 4 or 5 of them or whatever, they all dressed like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons on stage. And they're a metal band, and I hope they're singing about The Simpsons, because obviously I love The Simpsons. So hopefully there's like heavy metal songs about The Simpsons. I don't know I've never heard them before. I've just seen pictures of them.
I was laughing and I had some Dr. Pepper in my mouth.
Don't spit it all over the place.
Okay,
So Mac Sabbath and Oakley Dokley. How awesome of a show is that going to be? I would take Lane with me, but you got to be 18 to get in.
Yeah,
so
I would love to see those concerts.
You would not. You hate heavy metal music, first of all. You wouldn't even...
hate heavy metal music, but I would love to see, like, 5 Ned Flanders singing on stage about whatever they're going to sing about.
I don't know what they're going to sing about, but whatever it is, I bet it's going to be awesome.
What if it's, like, a metal yodeling one?
Why would it be that? Ned Flanders doesn't yodel.
That would be
They're
awesome.
heavy metal. They don't yodel in heavy metal.
That would be awesome.
Well, then you should start your own heavy metal band and yodel. I got the guitars. I'll be the guitar player. You be the singer. Yeah. And you make yodel metal. There's so many different genres of metal. There might as well be yodel.
There might be a Yoda.
That'd be good too.
Yoda.
But so that's what I'm going to go do tonight. I'm going to go see Mac Sabbath and Oakley Dokley at the Woodward Theater. I can't wait. I think it's going to be so much fun.
Wow.
So I think that's it, man. Do you have anything else that you wanted to touch on this week?
Not really.
All right, well then let's let these people hear this awesome interview that we've got going with Dave Schmidt, Cincy Graham. Here we go. All right, everybody, we've got a really cool special guest this week doing his very first podcast interview, Mr. Cincy Graham himself, Dave Schmidt.
What's up?
What's up, Dave?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. How you been?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. So, if anybody ever listened to the old show, everybody knows that me and Dave were the ones that kind of started the show. We started Howdy Radio in the very beginning. Dave did probably most of the episodes with us. I don't know if all of them, but a good majority of them. And me and him started a couple other podcasts as we went along. And Dave has also, like us, had not done a podcast in forever. This is his first time since...
Square 2 days.
Since Square 2. Did we do Square 2 past Howdy Radio? We did.
Yeah.
So once Howdy Radio ended, you and I were still doing Square 2.
Yep.
What is Square 2?
Square 2 was the most successful Howdy Inc. podcast that we ever did. Even more so than Howdy Radio or any of the other ones. It was me and Dave, and we did it weekly, and it was us talking about
random news.
I mean, it's kind of the way that you and the format of this show is kind of the format of Square 2 was then. Like, we find a couple different things that we wanted to talk about. Again, it would usually be like electronic type stuff, technology type stuff, music, video games, the stuff that we're into. So we would do that, and it would be, I think, a 1-hour show is what we did. We had our show on iTunes. We streamed live on Ustream every week. And it turned out to be pretty successful for a while. And then we stopped doing it. So it's been quite a while since Dave's done a podcast, and this is his very first time doing a Cincygram interview on a podcast, and I think that is extremely cool. So, go ahead, Lane. You got some questions for Dave?
So let's talk about Cincygram. Dave, what exactly is Cincygram?
Cincygram is a photography business that I run, showcasing the beautiful scenery that we have in Cincinnati. There's a lot of negative things in the world, and I try to show the beauty that we have in our city of Cincinnati through photography. So I go out and take pictures and post them on my social media networks and Instagram, and just, like I said, just showcase how beautiful Cincinnati is and how unique it is.
So how did Cincygram get started?
Well, it started with Brandon and I. I contacted Brandon, and we always do projects together, and wanted to get a project going with photography. We like to edit pictures all the time, and goofed off with Snapseed way back when it was first started, and
That's still all I use to edit photos.
yeah.
That's the only app I use to still edit photos. It's the only one I know how to navigate and work easily.
And to see the change in the app.
Is it kind of Is it kind of like Photoshop, kind of?
Yeah, it's I mean, it applies different filters to things,
Yeah.
and you can adjust. Yeah.
So it's like Snapchat, kind of.
No.
Well,
No, it's a full
it
photography.
doesn't put a
Yeah.
dog on your face.
Right, you are not putting dogs on your
Yeah.
face. It is not that.
It's a full photography editing software on
Yeah.
your iPhone.
And when we first started out doing it, we only used our phones to take the pictures. And, I mean, if you can date that, that's almost 5 years ago, so that was what iPhone era would that have been? Like 4?
Yes, I believe is what we started with.
Okay.
What year was it?
It was about 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago when
Oh,
we
it's like
started.
2012. Okay.
So we only used our
Yeah.
phones, and we were very proud of that even, and I think we were
Oh,
only
yeah.
very proud of that just because we didn't actually have real cameras, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were like, we're cool, we make these awesome looking photos and only use our phones, but
And the shooting, we spent about 6 hours shooting all in one day.
yeah.
Walked around all over Cincinnati. Started in Newport. I still remember it to
Yeah,
this day.
oh yeah. And then
Cool.
we'd start going to places that we weren't supposed to go and exploring all kinds of cool stuff around
Yep.
town, and that was a lot
Did
of
you
fun.
find some aliens?
No.
No. Okay.
No aliens.
No aliens.
Okay.
So then, from there, Brandon kind of got bored with it, like he usually does with projects.
Always.
Hopefully not with this.
And I took it over and just
Which,
started-
once you took it over, is when it, like,
Got good.
yeah. I mean, it did. It really did. I mean, of course,
It
neither
kicked
one of
you
us
out of the
really knew what we
picture.
were doing when we started.
Right.
And we just kind of learned as we went.
It was
but-
a hobby for us.
Yeah. But I feel like once it became yours, like, it got kicked up a notch and became
Yeah.
what it is.
I always was the opposite of you, which if I'm going to do a project, I'm going to do it all the way.
Yeah.
And you would love it at first, then you just
Yeah.
get tired of it.
Yeah. There was a lot of Howdy stuff that was that way, that we would start up that was, we'd do it for a little while and then be like, I want to do something different now.
Yep.
That's totally not one of my strong points.
So then, after that, I got a camera and started.
What was your first camera?
It was a Nikon.
Do you still use, or do you still have that one?
I don't.
No. What do you use now?
I still use a Nikon. It's just a full frame, which is a more professional camera.
So do you use your phone at all anymore to
I do.
take the pictures?
Yep,
Okay.
I do.
Do you still use Snapseed?
I do.
That's awesome. I'm glad that
So-
you do.
Um,
So do you carry your camera bag around with you like all the time, and just sometimes you'd rather use the phone to take the pictures, or just if you don't have the camera, then you'll use the phone to take the pictures? Because I
use-
mean, the camera on the phones are awesome now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're almost competing with DSLR professional cameras. So, but to answer that question, I do carry my bag around every now and then. If I know I'm going to go on a long walk, I'll just take one lens with me and roll from there. And
How many different lenses do you have?
I have 4 lenses.
Right on.
Yep. So I do use the iPhone if I see a shot that I want to get, and
when you just don't have the camera on your
yep.
But if you do
Or
have
if
the
I-
camera on you, then that's what you're going to use.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I still use, like this past weekend I was out shooting, and I had the Ollie clip with me, which is a extension product that you can add to the
Different
iPhone.
lenses and stuff. I used to have one of those. I might have it still sitting here on my desk. It had like a fisheye lens
Yep.
and something else or another. Yeah.
I don't like fish eyes. They're so weird.
I think they
don't
look
like
cool
fish eyes.
sometimes. It
They
depends
do.
on.
It matters where you're taking a picture.
It does.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you just take a picture of like a poster or something, then it's not really that good.
Well, no. Why are you taking a picture of a poster? That's the question.
So from there, you know, I do take pictures of with my iPhone and camera all the time together.
Do you like the portrait mode on the new iPhone?
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Except for you have to have like
You
an
have to have the
insane amount of light
perfect light
to be able
have
to do it.
A perfect image.
Yeah. Like you almost have to just be outdoors in the sun to be able to get a good picture. At least that's how I've found it to be. Like there's nowhere in my house, which my house is very poorly lit, and I know that. But like there's nowhere in my house that I can get a good portrait picture.
The light has to come from behind
Okay.
the photographer, or your camera.
We're learning stuff here, folks.
So if you're taking a picture with that portrait, make sure the light is from behind you.
Right on. So let me ask you that then. How did you learn everything that you're doing? Because when you and I started, we were just taking pictures with our phones. Neither one of us had any idea what we were doing. And you can tell that from the early pictures on Cincygram.
Yep.
But then as they go on, obviously now they're killer pictures. So is that all self-taught? Is that...
So when we were doing Cincygram, you and I, we did a photo walk. You got sick the day of our first photo walk and couldn't come out.
No, I was at the first photo walk.
No, you weren't. Not at the
No.
Sawyer Point.
Gotcha. You're right.
I went to pick you up and you didn't answer.
Gotcha. Sorry.
It's okay. You were sick.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully you will only
so
sick.
we started doing photo walks and got to meet some photographers in the area and just asked them questions, picked their brains, and
So
I
that's
did
where you
self-learn, but
yeah.
I asked the right people those questions, and
That is one very cool thing about Instagram in general, I think, not just with Instagram. I love the community of Instagram.
yes.
And, like, you have your photo stuff. Like, I have, like, different, like, record communities and stuff and, like, music stuff that it's just so cool to be able to talk to people on Instagram. And I think it's way better platform than anywhere else
Absolutely.
to be able to talk about that kind of stuff. I think that's very cool.
Yep, it's a good community, and you can reach out to others all
Yeah.
the time.
Everybody seems really cool to help with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Which is awesome. So it's been going on for 5 years now.
So, what are some of your favorite things you've done because of Cincygram?
I've had a lot of cool experiences with this business. So I've got to do a professional shoot with Adidas.
I forgot about that one.
That was a cool one. That one might be my favorite. I mean, that was nationwide.
Is it on your side?
It is.
So, and that one was, I forgot about that one.
Yep.
Adidas sent you some product
To
and
shoot
then
for them for their All-Star game.
for the All-Star game, that's right.
Yep.
So you took like these like cleats and stuff. They were like special All-Star looking cleats that were cool as hell looking.
Yep.
And then you went out and like photographed them Cincygram style.
Right.
Like on the Roebling Bridge and stuff like that. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Those were really cool. I forgot all about that. Anything else?
Some other projects is shooting the All-Star game. I got to shoot all 3 nights, field pass and everything like that.
When the All-Star game was in Cincinnati.
Yep.
When was that?
Yeah.
It was
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2015.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So here I am with my Nikon, but with some smaller lenses, not expensive lenses, shooting while professional, big-name photographers and works for all over the
Like
newspapers.
ESPN's
and, yeah,
photographers and Fox Sports photographers.
tens of $1,000s of lenses.
Yeah. Did that make you feel weird?
It did.
Yeah.
But
like you felt like you didn't belong, kind of.
Not in that way, but
yeah. It made
I
you
need
wish
better
you
lenses.
It made you wish you had that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still like at the same point as them.
Yeah.
But even though that you don't spend a bunch of money getting lenses.
Yep.
Yeah, so just because you have the most expensive lens doesn't mean you're the best photographer. That's all.
No, not at all.
It's the same way with me and like my guitars and stuff. Like
just because you have the most expensive
because you have the most expensive doesn't mean you're the best at it by any means.
Yep. So that was another cool thing I got to do. Right now I'm shooting a campaign for Verizon.
I've seen your hashtag for that.
Yep. I've done.
What's your hashtag? Just Verizon?
It's VZ Unlimited. It's for their unlimited campaign.
Oh, yeah. I've seen commercials for that. Mic drop.
So,
And you've been selling prints and all that kind of stuff.
You can go to my website at cincygram.com.
Yeah. Go there and buy some stuff.
Buy stuff.
Buy all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, man. I mean, it's very cool that it has worked out as well for you as it has. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And obviously you very much enjoy doing it. I mean,
yeah, it's used to be just a fun hobby. Now it's a stress relief and a business.
Yeah. Which in turn can be kind of stressful too, though, right?
It is, but
this one hasn't got to that point.
No, because this is something that I love to do.
Really enjoy doing it.
It's awesome. It's a job.
Yeah.
In a way, but it's not. I don't have any bosses looking up to me
Right.
So I am my own boss.
So do you have any new projects in the works?
Me and Brandon were talking about doing a podcast for Cincygram and photography in general. There's not a lot of photography podcasts out there.
Are you leaving me?
No. So this was something that me and Dave, we talked about a few weeks ago before me and you kind of started this. But then this idea came up and I was like, hold on, Dave. I was like, let me get this one up and running and then we'll come back to that. So we're hoping here within the next couple of weeks to get that one started.
We just both miss podcast again.
Yeah.
So.
And I miss doing all this stuff on the computer and just all the stuff that went along with it. So it'll be fun to get you and I going back on that as well.
Yes.
But no, Lane, I'm not leaving you.
Good.
Even if I did, I could leave you and you could just run this show by yourself.
I was actually thinking about that a little bit.
You could be the new Howdy. You're already trying to ditch me. All right, well, this is the last episode of Howdy Radio, the next generation.
Yeah.
We had a great run, 2 episodes. It's more than other shows. Some other shows didn't even have 2 episodes that we did. Remember, Liz did that one show. Liz did a show that was 1 episode. Yeah. I know that happened.
Was it just her?
Entertainment one.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It was.
That sounds terrible.
I forget what it was called.
It was terrible. It was on our... on the 25th episode of Square 2, we did like a whole day of live stream podcasting, and Liz debuted a new show. I don't. In her defense, I don't think she wanted to do it in the least bit, but we kind of like, we need another show, do this show, and I think we came up with the idea, and she wasn't interested in it, but she did it for 1 episode, whatever. But Dave, it was awesome having you. It was awesome talking on a podcast again, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming. We'll do this again, and then everybody keep an eye out for the Cincygram podcast as well. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Well, that's our episode this week. Thank you guys for listening. And thanks to Dave for coming down to do an awesome interview with us. And that's it. Bye. Oakley dokley.